Hey everyone, welcome back to Follow the Ev. I'm going to be doing a solo reaction today to the new image that was discovered by the James Webb telescope. The universe is a crazy place. I like being reminded how small and insignificant I am because it makes bad things that happen not seem so bad. And that's nice. So I'm going to do a little reaction to this video, just diving into it a bit, talk about it. Sandy's busy, so I'm going to be mixing in a few random little solo reactions and try to continue that whenever she's not around. And when she comes back, we'll continue on with our, couple stuff. So hopefully you guys don't find me to be a complete waste of time and bore, but I understand if you do, and that's okay. But for those that stick around and like the universe, here we go.
On July 11th, 2022, history was made as the very first science image from the James Webb Space Telescope was unveiled to the world. Upon its release, it immediately broke the cosmic record for the deepest view ever taken of the universe, an incredible achievement. This record had previously been held by the Hubble Space Telescope, which first set the record back in the mid-90s with the original Hubble Deep Field, and which broke its own record numerous times over the years. When comparing Webb's first image to similar images taken by Hubble of the same patch of sky, however, you can see just how much more detail Webb's camera is capable of capturing. So what are we actually seeing in this new deep field image? And how much more is it revealing of the universe?
Tell me.
Before we get stuck into comparing the images, let's first get a basic overview of how each of the telescopes differ, because their capabilities are not identical. Webb often gets called the replacement for Hubble, but NASA prefers to call it its successor. Webb will primarily look at the universe in the infrared, while Hubble studies it primarily at optical and ultraviolet wavelengths, though it also does have some infrared capability as well. Both Webb and Hubble are reflecting telescopes that conceptually work the same. Light reflects off a large primary mirror onto a secondary mirror, which sends it back through a hole in the primary mirror and into science instruments for analysis.
Damn.
Hubble's mirror is 2.4 meters wide, which is 7.9 feet wide, whereas Webb's segmented honeycomb-shaped mirror is an enormous 6.5 meters across, which is 21.3 feet across. Webb has the largest mirror ever flown in space. Its 18 segments are made out of lightweight beryllium and coated with a thin layer of gold, making it much more sensitive to infrared light, allowing it to peer farther back in time than Hubble is ever capable of doing. The two telescopes also have very different cooling requirements and are in very different...
It's unbelievable, dude, how they do this. Like, this is incredible. And just the fact that we're looking back in time when we view the stars, that also is just like mind-boggling. Oh man, it's just so wild. I gotta worry about paying rent, Meanwhile, we're looking back in time and I'm paying rent and, do I have to do the dishes tonight, Sandy? And I will do them because I'm not gonna not do them because then I don't want to fight. And that seems so important.
Positions. Hubble. The galaxy cluster called SMACS 0723, which is located 4.6 billion light-years away.
4.6.
This area of space is particularly interesting for astronomers as the galaxy's gravitational pull distorts the light of more distant galaxies behind them,
So
a phenomenon known as gravitational lensing. Thanks to gravitational lensing, Webb is actually able to look much farther away. This is why some of the light from those distant objects seem curved and warped.
Makes sense.
NASA says that the light that Webb senses is more than 13 billion years old, which means the galaxy...
13 billion years old. We're going to be looking back at the Big Bang soon, dude. That's fucking nuts. this is so, like, it just gives me a weird feeling.
Galaxies in the background were formed just a few 100,000 years after the Big Bang.
Yeah.
For the first time, we can see some of the faintest objects ever observed in the infrared. And what is incredible is that this photo only covers a patch of sky approximately the size of a grain of sand held at arm's length by someone on the ground.
A grain of sand.
Compared
dude.
to Hubble's view of the same area, Webb has brought those distant galaxies into sharp focus. Many objects that appeared as faint smudges to Hubble now can be seen in crisp view. Because Webb peered so far into space to capture this magnificent image, it was able to observe distant light that's been travelling across the cosmos for billions of years. As a result, closer galaxies seen in the cluster SMACS 0723 appear as they would have 4.6 billion years ago. This photo is just one of 5 that are being released, offering our tiny blue planet a glimpse into the distant past. In the coming years, Webb will no doubt build on the legacy of Hubble, allowing us to see deeper into space than ever before. Although the best is yet to come, each new observation, especially at this early stage, reveals a brand new page in a 13.8 billion year old cosmic story. The universe will never be the same again.
Fuck. Bro. That is unbelievable. This is an amazing time to be alive, to be witnessing these discoveries and with this new technology and being able to explore the universe to this extent. I mean, you know, I always bring it back to the human experience, of course, in my day-to-day life, right? And I actually made this image my wallpaper on my phone because it's just such a good reminder that your problems are so insignificant. And although they seem so incredibly large to us and so important, they're not in the grand scheme of things. And I think it's really good to have that reminder, just as you should remind yourself that you're going to die, that life is limited and short. And, you know, there's obviously the positive, view of this, that we are part of the universe. You know, we are stardust. There's no doubt that, you know, the spiritual aspect, religion, and then the science, they clash in today's world. And I think there's got to be room for both. And there's got to be room to hope, because I do think that is human. And it's just a part of us to believe in things. You can go into your later years in life and ultimately leading up to your death, if you have that opportunity, with hope of something more, and some kind of meaning to all this. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Anyway, I'm not, obviously knowledgeable in the sciences, clearly, or the universe. So to me, this is kind of my perspective, just from an individual that isn't as educated on this, but is fascinated by it. I obviously go the route, as you can see, of more of like spiritual thinking and, how does this affect my day-to-day? But it does. And, I think it's good to take value from things like this and incorporate them into your lives however you can, because why not? And I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.